Look, you can only tread water for so long before you go under, especially if somebody's pulling you down. And that's the situation I think the Indiana Fever are in right now as they are falling. They are losing to lowly teams in the WNBA. I mean, the loss to the Wings was a really rough one. Then they lose to the Washington Mystics. But this comes after they lost Ari McDonald, which was just a huge blow considering Caitlin Clark was out. So what's the season really going to come down to? Cece. The season was always, from the beginning, going to come down to Caitlin Clark and just how far she could carry the rest of the team. I mean, and she has some super talented teammates, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Sophie Cunningham's been a baller this year, amongst others. But they were never going to survive forever without Caitlin Clark in the lineup, especially without her backup there. So they just, need her back. It's just about as simple as that. That's the case. I mean, there's no way to spin it. You can criticize who you want. It's tough to watch. It's hard to stomach. It makes the Wings loss worse. You worry about their playoff positioning, of course. Now with the Sparks coming up all of a sudden from behind, the Valkyries passing them, the Aces having passed them. We'll see what the Seattle Storm, if they can snap out of that skid that they're in right now. They have a lead over the Dream. If they win that game, then all of a sudden, the hold on the seeding gets even more tenuous. Seattle is a game and a half behind Indiana, same as Los Angeles. The Fever do have the Sun coming up next, but losing games to the Wings and then to the Mystics only hurts that positioning. Now, the difference between those teams in the Fever is not much, all things considered, right now. Now, when you look at the game, what is there to specifically criticize? Well, there's always stuff to criticize. Kelsey Mitchell did not have a great game in this one. Does that mean she sucks? No. You see people overreact, all that sort of thing. But, some of her worst tendencies on display in this game, just 6 of 19 from the floor, 1 of 6 from the three-point line. You know what she does that drives me crazy too much is when she comes off a curl and she's got the three and then she goes for the long, she dribbles in for the long two, like at least once or twice tonight I saw that. I'm just like, Kelsey, pull it from three. You're a good three-point shooter. Pull it from three. So there's that. Obviously, Stephanie White receives the blame after every loss. What's the topic du jour on that? Chloe Bibby not playing. Things are bad when people are complaining about you not playing somebody you just signed who never, had a cup of coffee in the WNBA before. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to insult Chloe Bibby. She's been really good. She can really shoot the ball. And maybe she should have been out there to try and shoot the ball. But Stephanie White did explain her thinking behind Chloe Bibby not playing in this one. And that was the switchability.
Tonight, were there thoughts maybe plugging her in to try and spark the offense a little bit, or what was the decision behind not playing her?
Yeah, there were some thoughts. I think that it matched up defensively more than anything with the way that we were going to try to play them, or in some of our switches and things like that. So that was mostly the reason.
So yeah, I mean, look, again, I think if you're talking about whether Chloe Bibby played or not, that's indicative of the problem in the first place. And then the Mystics got some bailout shots to go for them too, which is just tough luck at times. Sonia Citron is a hell of a player. She's one of those players where you kind of knew, watching her, she might be better in the pros than in college, but she's been even better than anyone could have imagined. And when you get a shot like this to go down, an end of shot clock situation right here, where the Fever obviously have played good defense. They're up 1 point. You see the screen navigation. Lexi Hull fights over it. She's there. Contest all over. Just throws something up in the air. It goes in. And those are back-breaking shots. And the Mystics had a few of those in the game. That hurts. And, credit to Citron, who's been clutch all season long. 21 points in this one. Really starting to, make that Rookie of the Year case. Though I saw on the Wings broadcast that Paige Beckers broke the WNBA assist record by like over 100 I'm just kidding, but they credit her with like 400 something assists, say all the entire rookie records falling when it was the Wings rookie record, to be fair. They were talking about the Wings rookie record, but when you utter the sentence entire rookie records being rewritten and you have a blatantly false statistic on the screen, it's going to be taken a certain way. And then you have, the Fever themselves talking after the game. Sophie Cunningham, one of their most consistent performers right now in this stretch. And she kind of pulled the nobody believes in us card anymore, which is, again, indicative of the situation that the Fever are in right now. She's up there with Odyssey Sims, who, again, was just signed.
Yeah, I just think that we've had some hard injuries this year. We've had some different lineups and roster spots. And, to be frank, I don't think anyone else around the league thinks that we can do it anymore. But I think that our group does. And I think that we just have to get that confidence back. When we're clicking offensively, defensively, we're scary. And not a lot of teams can beat us, even with the roster that we have right now. And so for us, it's just remembering who we are. It's our identity. We got to get back to being dogs, got to get back to being aggressive, being on our front foot, and not allowing teams like this to come in here and outwork us.
That's a good thought. I mean, it's the right perspective, but again, the circumstances are what they are. Once you're a team that's down your best player and then you're down the player who replaced her. It's hard to overstate how big a loss Ari McDonald, who would have thought that at the beginning of the season, but it's just a massive loss when CC is already lost, for at least for the time being. So you take a look at the standings and you take a look at the schedule. And what can the Fever do here? Well, they have the Connecticut Sun. No matter what the circumstances are, that's a win that you have to hope to be able to attain against the Connecticut Sun. Then you're in the path of the possible CC return, which from all accounts, or from the reading the tea leaves and what has been said on the broadcasts and other indications, is going to be August 22nd, 24th, or 26th. Now, the problem is if it's the 26th, the 2 games prior to that are against the Minnesota Lynx. And it appears Nafisa Collier is on the way back as well. So the Fever are running out of runway. They are running out of opportunities to stay afloat. But they're also still in the position, where it's salvageable. The season is salvageable. Of all things considered, it feels like a lost season. There's just too many obstacles to overcome. But until the season is officially lost, it can be found.